Happy July, everyone. Welcome to Central South Dakota. Thanks for watching. This is the Monday News Brief. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Monday News Brief. I'm your host, Nate Iverson, and this is CDTTV, a part of the Central Dakota Times. This week, we have not one, not two, not three, but four guests on our show this week. We have our fearless leader, Deb Ruiz, talking about her rescheduled Demolition Derby. We also have 4th of July Parade Coordinator LaMie Goodman giving you some information on the 4th of July. We also have Game Fish and Parks Wildlife Conservation Officer Diana Landegent giving us some information on the boating season, what to expect on the 4th of July, and how to be safe on the water while you're out there having a good time. And finally, we have Recreation Coordinator LaMie back again to give us a rundown of everything going on in terms of events and fun through the week of the 4th of July and into the following weekend. Stories, information, and more are also available every Wednesday morning in the Central Dakota Times, available wherever your local newspapers are sold in the Central South Dakota area. And finally, be sure to subscribe on YouTube or like us on Facebook for these news briefs every Monday morning and more content released on a regular schedule. Click the bell in YouTube to get your notifications ahead of time so you don't miss a thing. Let's get to the show. So, hey everybody, we are here today with Patriotic Parade Planner and Coordinator LaMie Goodman, and also my fearless leader, editor and owner of Central Dakota Times, Deb Ruiz. So, what we're going to do is we're going to bounce between, we're going to basically have these two answer the same question, and we're just going to go back and forth. Deb is coordinating the Demolition Derby happening July 6th, and LaMie, you are coordinating the Patriotic Parade happening on?
4th of July.
The 4th of July. All right, perfect. So let's just start with, let's dive right into the parade. So LaMie, how long has the parade been a thing? How many annual years has this been running? And what got you involved? And kind of what was the idea for planning a parade?
Okay. Well, that happened in 2012 during a family Christmas when I love parades, and I always thought we should have a parade on the 4th of July, which I don't think Chamberlain has ever had one. So I told my grandkids, I said, we are going to have a 4th of July parade this summer. And they were excited. And my 3 children looked at me and rolled their eyes and said, "You're what, Mom?" I said, "I'm going to put on a parade this summer." I said, "Just watch, we'll have a parade." So that was how it started, and so I just started advertising in March, and then a little bit, just putting little flyers and ads in the papers, and that's basically how it started in 2013. Yeah.
Cool. And then Deb, Demolition Derbies.
Isn't it great?
Yes.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
That is cool. How does that even become like an idea though? You know, one day you're just, I'm going to do a Demolition Derby.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's Mike Mahalik, and I just joined on with him. So
Okay.
He'd done them, 4 years, this is number 4 in Chamberlain, but he's also done them in Geddes, Lower Brule. He's done different spots everywhere throughout the state. And so 2 years ago, him and I just teamed up, and so I do the promotion marketing. He does all the tech, the design of the course, gets the drivers. He does what I consider the hard work, which PR and marketing is not hard. So
Yeah.
I can stick with that. So
Right.
So cool. So what are some of the challenges of organizing a Demolition Derby?
weather, number 1, weather. This is the first year that we had to postpone because we were scheduled for Memorial Day Saturday. We worked that track. I mean, Mike was out there continually working the track. We had it ready to go on Thursday before the event, and it rained Thursday night. So when
that's a bummer.
you bury your Bobcat, yeah, you're not going to be able to have an event. Sure, a mud run would have been cool at that time, but we couldn't get people in. So, so it's a lot of mostly planning to get the drivers, picking a weekend that works. We chose Memorial Day Saturday. That's a day that Mike actually thought would work the best, and so far we draw good numbers on that. So we'll see what July 6th brings us. I'm thinking we're going to have big numbers.
Sure. Well, it's still that 4th of July weekend, so
It is.
Yeah.
So LaMie, organizing a parade, you're speaking with a lot of parade goers, probably the city too, I'm assuming.
You know, when I start advertising, I basically sit back and wait and to see, you know, who participates, and I get calls or texts, and the city pretty much takes care of the police closing Main Street, and so that I'm not really in charge of any of that, which helps. You know, I don't need to do that, and I've had Doug Dozark help me for the last 3 to 4 years, and he organizes down by the Avenue of Flags and
kind of eases that
directs.
congestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has some other volunteers helping too. So it isn't as complicated as people might think, or a lot of work. It's just fun, and that's what I want.
If you advertise it, they will come. It's a way
Yes.
the real thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, in terms of the parade, what can locals and visitors who are going to be here over the weekend and part of the week, what can they expect to see?
Well, crowded Main Street.
Always a good thing.
Always a good thing. I'm sure McDonald's will be full, and just wait till 10:30 when we come north on Main Street. It starts at 10:30, and come early. Bring chairs. Bring water or buy water bottles. I think it'll be warm, but that's basically it. You know, just a good parade.
Cool. And then where can people set up? I guess where does the parade start and where does it end? Just for planning ahead of time.
Well, it starts right at the where the swimming pool is on Main Street. We usually set up down by the Avenue of Flags and the school parking lot below, and basically line everybody up, and we start right there at the swimming pool area.
Okay, so people can pretty much grab a spot anywhere from the Avenue of Flags all the way down to, I believe it's the end of Main Street, right?
Yes.
So it runs the whole length.
Right. It's all the way down to the end of Main Street, right before you turn off.
I learned things, you know, I assumed the Demolition Derby was kind of like a race, and then, you know, they kind of ran into each other. So I learned a lot. So what can people expect? What's a Demolition Derby entail?
How did you learn this?
We were talking about this the other day, I think. Yeah.
You did pay attention then.
I did. I did my homework.
I am impressed. A Demolition Derby, like, we have 2 classes this year. So it's limited weld, stock weld. So each has a different set of rules.
Mm-hmm.
You have to fit those rules. You go through tech. Pass tech, you're in the derby. You don't pass, you get another attempt to fix your car and get it ready to go. And then we do the green flag at 1 o'clock. And we have, like, the limited welds will enter we call it the track, the arena, basically.
Sure.
They go in, you get them ready to go, and as soon as the flags go, they start hitting. And it's the last, well, like the ones we're doing for limited weld, half of those will move to the feature, the other half move to the consolation. So if you like a lot of action, a lot of bang, snap, if you have like a lot of energy, you can get really involved. When Mike first said, how's July 6th, I'm like, oh, wow. But then I didn't know if we could pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
We already had everything all set up. We just had to rework the track, basically,
Sure.
to fit our needs, get rid of all the water. If you saw the water in there before, it was undoable. There was no way we could get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and you saw it the other day, how beautiful it looks.
Sure.
It's just like,
Yeah.
it's like, cool, we're ready to go.
Good.
So we figured we'll bring in so many more spectators this year, especially over the 4th of July. People are doing a 4-day weekend. We want to capitalize on that.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them in, let them have a good time, good afternoon. After we're done, we're going to have music and a little bit of fireworks.
Oh, very cool.
I know, it's like super exciting. So it'll be a good deal once we get. And then we'll piggyback off of your 4th of July parade, and participate in that.
Right.
So there's going to be something for everyone over the 4th of July weekend in Chamberlain, Oacoma. So be sure to check everything out. Amy, where can people go to get more information on the 4th of July parade?
Well, I have on my flyers, and as I've been advertising, to just call or text me at 605-730-1500, or they can call Doug Dozar.
Keep your eye out for the flyers, and if you need to get a hold of Amy directly, you now know how. Deb,
Yes.
more information on the Derby.
More information. We have flyers. We just put them out everywhere. We have a Facebook page, River City Rumble Demolition Derby 4.
Okay.
You can contact Mike Mahalik, and that's 605-220-9391. Or you can contact us at Central Dakota Times. We'll answer your questions. We'll get you in. If you're a driver, if you're a spectator, show up by 1 o'clock and wait for the green flag.
Great.
Cool. And of course, as always, Wednesday mornings, we're going to have all the information in this video also in the paper as well. So be sure to pick up a copy and you won't miss anything for the next week. Amy, anything else you'd like to add?
Well, as I think about this parade, it's basically, it's not me that's putting it on. It's the people, the town of Chamberlain, and it's for Chamberlain. And I think to myself sometimes, if everybody watches the parade, there ain't going to be no parade. So we really encourage people to enter and
Any type of entries, basically.
Any type of entries, just walking or anything. But I have done both. You know, I'm usually in it. I just love putting floats or decorating a ranger or bicycles for kids. But I watched it last year because I thought I want to see it. So, you know, watching the floats go down on Main Street and seeing the excitement of the people on Main Street, and I enjoyed that just as much. But there's really nothing like going down Main Street in a vehicle or whatever, and as you're walking or driving and seeing the crowds of people, it's just unbelievable. It's like, where did all these people come from? And it's so exciting. It's just...
And it's not just your locals. It's the people in the campgrounds.
Yes.
It's the people that are visiting relatives that come too, which is really cool.
Yes.
Deb, anything else on the Demolition Derby before we go?
Oh, we're just excited. It's going to be hot, which will be great. It's summer. Lots of action. We just want people to pack the stands, bring your coolers, concessions. We'll have concessions there. Stay for the end, the fireworks. Woo! And it'll be a good time. Definitely will be.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to both. I hope you all watching are too. Amy, Deb, thanks for your time.
All right, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Right. Hey everyone, we're here with Wildlife Conservation Officer Diana Landegent. Diana, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
So we're here to talk about, with the 4th of July weekend, obviously we're going to see a huge spike in tourists.
Yes.
And with lots of tourists and visitors comes more boat traffic and water traffic in general, water recreation. So I figured it'd be great to have you on and talk a little bit about boat safety, water safety. So let's just get right into it. So what are some of the programs and daily routines that Game Fish and Parks would implement in the summer, especially with these increased visitors?
So a lot of things that we do during the summer is check boaters and fishermen. So when we are out there checking boaters and fishermen, we are checking for safety equipment. That includes life jackets, throwable devices, and fire extinguishers.
Okay.
So our main focus is safety during the summer.
Sure. And then how often do you perform those checks? Is this a daily thing?
Daily. Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
And
if people are on the river, we're out there too.
Oh, fantastic. Cool. So I guess just to follow that, with the flooding that we've had, I know the flooding is going down now, and I don't know about the snow melt up north, but has that created any unique challenges for game fish at all?
Yeah, so this year with a little bit of the flooding was the first time I experienced it. You know, back when it happened in 2011, I wasn't quite here yet, so this was my first experience in getting familiar with how it works out on the river. So one thing that I noticed was that the activity on the river really decreased as far as fishing, and the wreck boaters obviously weren't out there. So we're starting to see that again now that the river levels are going down. But a challenge that we face with Game Fish and Parks is if there's boat ramps that are closed, and if there's an emergency that we need to respond to on the river, it restricts our use on these boat ramps. So our response might be a little bit delayed, trying to figure out how to get on the river, what boat ramps to use, which one's the closest that is open. So that's a challenge that we face, but we're still able to get out there. We got boats, different types of boats, flat bottom boats, my Lund. So we got different types of boats to handle those problems.
If you can find a way on the water, you can get out there.
That's exactly.
So what about for, I guess, just the average boater that's out there? Is there anything with the flooding that they should be looking out for? I know just personally, just seeing debris floating down would be something to keep in mind. But...
Right. It's a good idea to always keep your head on a swivel with debris going by. You got to make sure, you're not hitting those stumps that are floating on through. So it's just good to go slow and know where you're going to the place that you're going to go.
So what are some of the most common problems with boaters this year and fishermen that Game and Fish runs into?
So with more activity on the river and it's getting hotter as the summer goes on, I would say one of the things that we come across more commonly is boating under the influence, or BUIs, which is similar to driving under the influence, like DUIs when you're driving on the road. It's BUIs is boating under the influence when you're on the river. So that's recreational boaters and fishermen that we come across. If you're out on the boat, make sure you do have a sober driver, just like you would if you're out in the vehicle. But it's not illegal to have an open container in a boat like it is in a vehicle. So just make sure you have a sober driver and stay safe that way.
Sure. And then in addition to like the safety checks and the equipment checks, do you also perform sobriety checks at all? Is that part of the program?
So when we're out on the boat, checking fishermen, checking wreck boaters, of course our primary focus is safety. So we're out there checking for the life jackets and making sure that they properly fit everybody that's on the boat. So if you have all adults and they have all youth life jackets,
sure, that's
not going to work.
Right.
So, and make sure they're readily accessible, because when we come up to these boats and they're like, I don't know where my life jacket is, that's a problem in case there's an emergency when they do need one. And these throwable devices, at the Type 4, a square cushion is how we describe it to people, and then a fire extinguisher. So if we complete those safety checks, then we go on to checking fishing licenses if they happen to be fishing. And then if we happen to see, alcohol use in the boat, then we continue our investigation pursuing it that way.
Okay.
Yep.
So then when you see all these things, are there really common, easy solutions for a lot of these problems? I know you talked about just having a sober boat driver for starters. But is there kind of a lot of issues where it's like, if all you had to do was this?
Read the rules and regulations before you get on the boat.
Right.
That's primarily what we ask people to do. We provide the fishing handbook that Game Fish and Parks prints. We have the boating handbook. We have all this great resources for people to use so they can look up these things and educate themselves before they go out on the river and use that.
So, and then one thing that came to mind too is with all the travelers, rentals become a little bit more popular, and I know especially on ramps that can become a little hectic. Do you have any advice for like new boaters or people that are here just to rent for the weekend?
Absolutely. So the first thing that I would suggest for a new boater would be make sure all your proper safety equipment is on your boat or pontoon that you're renting for the day. So if you have 10 people, make sure there's 10 life jackets. Make sure you know where the throwable device is, where the fire extinguisher is. Get familiar with the boat yourself. If you're not sure, if you're not a knowledgeable boater, ask the people that you're renting it from, where is everything, how do I do it? Another thing is to take your time. If you're in a high use area, maybe go somewhere where there aren't a lot of people, just so you can, familiarize yourself out on the boat, get acquainted with it. And when you're out on the river, maybe drift away from everybody else that's recreating tubing, just so you can be by yourself and take your time and be comfortable with it.
Right. And like you said before, read the directions.
That's exactly right.
It solves a lot of problems.
Yep.
And then in addition to renting, I know there's you'll see paddle boarders, swimmers, we're going to see kayakers, everyone out enjoying it. Do you have any information for them or any advice for those kind of people?
Yeah, absolutely. If you rent a paddleboard or use a paddleboard or kayak when you're out on the river, think safety first. You got to have a life jacket with you. You don't necessarily have to wear it, but have it with you. That's a requirement. Also, if it's, the 4th of July, everybody's going to be out on the water. Go to more secluded areas. Don't go right out in the middle where everybody else is. Stick to the shoreline. Know the weather, because that wind can come up like nothing, and then you're stranded out there and you have to call one of us.
with all the increased traffic, and obviously it can be overwhelming if you're new and you want to find this information on your own, where can visitors or just general users go to get more info?
So we have a lot of information on our Game Fish and Parks website, which is gfp.sd.gov.
Okay, great. And then you also have the GFP app as well?
Yes. Yep.
So fantastic.
Go ahead and download that.
Perfect. And we will have links in, again, the description for YouTube and Facebook, so be sure to check those out. Dan, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
The only thing I'd like to add is anybody that's watching is please stay safe when you're out on the river. Make sure you have your safety equipment. And if you guys ever need anything, please call your local conservation officer.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Is that a new shirt?
That's one I've worn in a while. I don't know if it's new.
It's just...
But you know, it's funny when you, like, we had yesterday we had our rookie little guys tournament up top at the Explorer Stills. Must have been like, oh my gosh, it had to be upwards of, 300-400 people just crawling over these fields. You know what I mean? Well, like, you know, there's the Explorer fields.
Yeah, it's a whole complex.
Unbelievable amount of people. Fills up the freaking parking lot all the way around. Never seen anything like it. But anyway, you know, I organize it, monitoring it, all that stuff. I got another recreation shirt. This person comes up to me and goes, I don't know if you're the one in charge, but I see that recreation shirt on, so we're on toilet paper in the bathroom. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And it's hilarious though, because I'm like, that's what happens though. You know, you wear a shirt like this, then people like, oh, that must be the guy in charge.
Yep. That was like, what was the thing that I always saw? Have you ever like, it's not hiding in plain sight, it's like the opposite. Like you can get past anything, like if you just moderately dress like a maintenance guy or something, you can pretty much walk wherever you want. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Like maybe if you have like even like overalls and like a name tag or something.
Yep.
You could probably go into any building and be like,
yeah,
can you point me to where this is? And oh yeah, he must be or whatever. Waiting somebody just steals something.
Just walk through it just to see if you can do it.
I bet you could. That would be a fun little test. My kids have been watching this YouTube show. Have you ever watched YouTube TV or whatever? My kids watch YouTube TV now.
Yeah, it's like a premium thing. Yeah.
That seems to be the thing that kids are watching now. Okay, I don't know. When I was a kid, I watched freaking cartoons. I guess that's all gone. Anyway, these people make these videos. His family makes these videos. Anyway, they come up with these cool things, and sometimes it's cool to try to play these games. Like, if you ever play this game, try this sometime. Go to a drive-thru, you're hungry, and tell them that I want whatever the person ordered in front of me.
Okay.
Exact same order. And it's just exact same order, and you get it, and you might be surprised to be like we did it at Taco John's.
Oh, you've tried this?
We did it once, yeah. It's the whole family. We did it, which is, you know, it's crazy. It's suicide to go in as a whole family because, you know, you're not gonna feed everybody.
Right.
But if you do it by yourself, it's kind of fun. Anyway, we got there. We're like, this is pretty good. Like, next time I'm gonna try this when I come. So you never know. But sometimes you could get something horrible. So it's kind of like a Russian roulette thing or whatever. You never know what's gonna happen. Anyway, sorry. I just thought I'd open up with that combo. And anyway, this YouTube TV, they play those games all the time. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Let's try it. We also did another one if you want to hear it. It's another fun game.
Oh, dude, do it.
Okay. We all went to these different restaurants. Our favorites, we order our favorite thing from every restaurant. Now, word to the wise, don't do this when you have a bigger family like I do because your food will get cold by the end of it. Because if you get your favorite thing by then, okay. So everybody gets their favorite things. Of course, the kids pick McDonald's. It's just they don't even know yet the favorite things at McDonald's. I went and got buffalo chicken pizza over at Upper Crust. Have you ever had that before?
I haven't. No, I mean I've had Upper Crust, not buffalo chicken.
You do their buffalo chicken pizza. It's really, really good.
Okay.
Personal pan, freaking awesome. Better when it's hot. Mine got cold. Whatever.
Oh,
I just warm it up in the microwave. Not big deal. Kim got a steak from Smoking Mule, which was quite good. I was impressed. I usually like my steaks from Charlie's. Have you ever eat a steak there?
Oh, it's been a while, but
I'm a steak guy.
Yeah.
And then the kids got McDonald's. One got Dairy Queen. Anyway, so we went all over the freaking place. We got all this food. You get home with everybody's favorite meal. They put it in front of them. You have a dice. Everybody gets this number on the dice. You roll the dice. Whatever number you get on that person, you get to take a bite of their food.
Oh,
now,
cool.
So if the winner, okay, so you get to take a bite of their food, and you're playing for something, the one to stay in the longest wins. So like you put a $20 bill and whoever's still, so they can choose to say, no, I'm going to eat my own food and I'm out. You can't take a bite of mine. but then they lose the chance on winning the $20. So the longest person that stays in gets the $20. So you're taking bites of everybody's food, but you got to do this when everybody's really hungry, because you'll be surprised. It doesn't matter how much cash is sitting on there. You're like, I'm freaking hungry.
You're gonna get
I don't
food.
care. I want to eat, and you're not going to eat a bite of my steak. You know, and it's the worst when you're like, oh yeah, I want to take a best piece here. That was kind of a fun game.
But you could just buy another meal with that $20.
That's kind of what I always think, but your mind doesn't think that way when you're hungry.
That's the mind over matter.
It's horrible. And don't go shopping when you're hungry either, people. That's stupid as well. All right, anyway, you want to know what's going on in Chamberlain next week?
Yeah, it's the 4th, right? It's going to be busy.
It's the 4th.
4th weekend.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, Thursday's the 4th is kind of cool. So Monday, our U14 softball team is traveling to Winter to play in their U14 tournament. So that's kind of a fun deal for them. Summer rec, we start dodgeball. The kids that come into the community. We usually start the things where they can kind of come inside when it starts getting this hot. And I kind of am like, let's get them in. So, dodgeball. And man, the kids love that one.
Rubber balls or like those foam ones?
We have the foam ones.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
The rubber when I was a kid too. But I don't even know if you can order the rubber ones anymore.
I'm sure you can somewhere. The smell is nostalgic. They have like...
But you're going to kill these little kids. And I will say, you know, the coaches tend to have fun. You know, a little winging at some kids that probably been annoying them for all year. I got this kid. Then the...
You want that cut out?
You can keep it in.
Okay.
We all have that. And then in the afternoon, there's kids yoga.
Okay.
So they actually come to the community center. We put on a nice dark room, nice environment. We put on yoga. We all do
Warrior
it together.
pose?
Yeah, they do it all, man.
Yeah?
They do it all. They do downward dog. And the kids that sign up for this, you know, they really like doing those kind of things. They're quiet things.
Mm-hmm.
That day also, there's going to be if anybody's interested, and also that again, there's going to be a Pentagon shooting camp. Pentagon camp. They're going to come down here and do a basketball camp for anybody that's interested. They'll do younger groups through older groups. So I think 1st and 2nd grade, 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th.
Okay.
Or I think actually younger kids, the middle school and then high school. They do a high school last. Sorry.
Oh, cool.
So that's how they'll do it.
It's just kind of grouped that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is
2
there a fee for
hours
that?
each. There is. So if you want to get involved in that, that's $35. And the actually way to sign it up is to... I sent out the flyer and I'll send it out again. The information's on there to register online.
Gotcha.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I can look it up.
That's all right. We'll put it in the description.
Yeah, just put it in there. And yeah, you can sign up online. It's not through me, but they're using the community center and I'm kind of shouting it out for them. Tuesday, Summer Rec has our basketball unit, which is always a real popular one. The kids, it's pretty cool too because the coaches are really good. They know a lot of different drills and things the kids can be doing. It's a lot of fun. We'll have arts and crafts in the afternoon. This is a great session for the little ones. Well, we have different groups that come in. It's a really popular one. Kids like to make different things and then they bring them home.
Yeah.
This week, I think we'll do a load the water in a squirt gun and painting canvas thing. It's kind of a cool art project for them. That seems to be a real popular one. We do that in the community center as well. Mm-hmm. And then Thursday, no summer rec. Enjoy your 4th of July. And then Friday, if we have kids that are still around, we'll do a soccer session. The little ones really like soccer. I think it's just because they're running the whole time.
Yeah.
They just like to run.
See, that is like my favorite sport. I don't...
Soccer?
Yeah.
To play, you mean?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I can watch it for hours, too.
What?
Yeah.
There's no action in soccer. There's no scoring ever.
Well, that's not the point.
Yes,
like,
it is. People like scoring.
It's like watching hockey, though.
Yeah, I would say the same thing about hockey.
You're not a hockey fan either.
I said that I'm not. I just struggle with the struggle to score. I like sports where people can score.
I mean...
It's a struggle to score in these sports. I just see the puck go back and forth. No one's ever going to score.
So you're in favor of the easy NBA where there's no defenses?
I like the defense, but I like scoring too. I mean, I get it. I understand the defensive struggle and people that really like that stuff. I tend to get more excited when there's some scoring going on.
Yeah.
Those sports don't have a lot of it sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
It can be tough. Soccer, I mean, those guys are in phenomenal shape, and gals are in phenomenal shape. I mean, to run like that constantly? Unbelievable.
Yep.
I mean, props to them all. props to them all, and
Just not your thing.
I mean, not to watch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sit down and watch it. I will watch the NBA, which obviously I'm not right about anything in there, and I like the NFL a lot too.
So is Kawhi going to the Lakers?
I don't know, man. Man, wouldn't that be incredible?
That's
if
a
they
new
put all
rumor.
three of those guys together.
Because they wanted to
With
put him on.
AD.
Everyone's saying he's going to the Clippers, right? He's going to the Clippers. I don't know why he wouldn't stay in Toronto. First of all.
Because if these guys get super teams put together, then Toronto's gonna have a tough time.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather be like the big fish in the small pond? You know, like
Yeah, I get it.
pretty much you're the most popular man in
But it's
Canada right now.
Toronto. I mean, you're
What?
in Canada.
So,
So Canada or LA, there's no comparison there.
I mean, I don't know.
And I think he has family in LA too, like
Yeah.
in not in LA specifically, but California. So that could be pulling him too. But I think specifically it's Canada, man. And we're talking about LA. Have you ever been to LA?
No, that's one of the places I haven't been to.
You should go. It's kind of a fun place to.
Everyone says it's a goofy place.
Whoa.
You gotta see it though. You gotta see it though.
I went to one sister lives in Los Angeles and the other one lives in San Diego. And both places, I mean, Los Angeles more as a rural business place, you know what I mean? It felt like more business-like with the buildings.
Yeah.
San Diego felt way more vacation-y to me.
Mm-hmm.
And but incredible. You wake up, it's the best weather ever, every day. And I'm like, I understand why people want to live here.
Right? Then you watch one of those 2012 horror movies where California does a backflip and floats into the ocean.
Yeah, that's true too, I suppose. There are some negatives that come
But
with
it's
that.
worth the weather.
Yeah, that's what people think, obviously. And then don't forget about, I don't know why I'm looking at your computer, but don't forget about
There
the
you go.
inflatable run on Saturday. You can still sign up. And if you sign up all the way to Wednesday, you can get a t-shirt that comes with it. And there's 6 cool inflatables this year.
Okay.
6 that go around. It's going to be a fun time.
Where's the start point?
It's Chamberlain City offices this year.
Okay.
We have done it before at American Creek, but seems to be not functioning yet. So we'll just do it over there. Still can park and
Yeah.
we can run from there. No matter where you start and finish, it matters about the fun run.
That's right.
So in the morning, so it won't be too incredibly hot. You'll get it done with. A great time. Get a shirt. Hang out. It's a fun time. It doesn't have to be a run. You can walk and the family out. It's a cool deal. So
Cool.
we hope that goes good.
Well,
Yeah.
sounds like another good week.
Yeah, it's gonna be packed. Like I said.
Good to know. Ron,
Enjoy
thanks
it.
again.
You got it.
All right.